want to say anything before?
No, I mean, I just think, welcome to, Colonial Power. And for folks who don't know, I'm Jamie Helen, the town administrator. I know there was another session last week. And Mark Capadona and Denise Allard are here from Colonial Power, who are answering questions. I know Mark will probably give a brief overview for all the folks who are on the call. But this is for the Community Choice Municipal Aggregation Program, which starts on November 1st. And Mark, I just leave it over to you to take it away, and you and Denise can give everybody the facts.
Thanks, appreciate it. Jamie, thanks for putting this together for us today. My name is Mark Capadona with Colonial Power. We're the consultant that helped Franklin through the process of municipal aggregation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here today to talk to you about your electricity bill, and it's actually it's an excellent meeting to be on. There's no reason for concern. It's a couple of different steps that I want to take you through here. It was actually an extensive local process and a state process. This started way back in 2015. The town council, they authorized aggregation in December of 2015. Then they approved an aggregation plan in March of 2016. The town received their order in September of 2016. And I've been working with Jamie. He wasn't the town administrator at the time, but since then, trying to find the right time for Franklin to get into the marketplace. A couple of energy-related issues that kept Franklin out of the market, and really, you have hit an all-time low. He went out and signed an ESA in the February-March timeframe, which was kind of, as far as gas was concerned, about as low as it is. They've seen it in the 30 years it's been traded. So as far as pricing and stability goes, I feel really good in the price that Franklin has moving forward. So this program is to address your supply portion of your electricity bill. I want to remove any doubt here. This is not going to affect, no one's going to lose power or anything like this. This program is simply to bring you an option that you haven't had in years past. So this coming winter, with your November meter read, the city has purchased energy on your behalf. The good news is, if you wish, you stay in. If you do not wish, you opt out. That's the only hot button item here, is that it's an opt-out municipal aggregation. Meaning if you don't do anything, then you'll be automatically enrolled. Everyone on this call should have, if they're eligible to proceed, I should say everyone is eligible, but if you're on a third-party supplier, you wouldn't have received the letter. Everyone that's on basic service, meaning that your supply is delivered by National Grid, will be should have received an opt-out notice by the town. This simply means you have a choice to make if you wish to participate. And for the first 6 months, it's guaranteed savings. So the town's rate is going to be 10.725. National Grid's rate starting in November is going to be 12.388. So for the first 6 months of the program, it's guaranteed that you're going to be saving money. What happens next summer, I should say starting May 1st, we're all unsure. So savings cannot be guaranteed on this program. But over time, I can tell you that the last 3-year average for National Grid's summer and winter rate have been 11.9. The 5-year average is 10.8. So not only is this a good, stable rate, but it's 100% renewable by National Wind Rex. So you can feel good about the product that the administrator has chosen as well. This is, from a carbon reduction standpoint, it does allow you to consider your product to be a green product. So let's talk about the choices kind of in front of the end user right now, what it means to you. On your National Grid electricity bill, there is 2 portions to that bill. There's transmission and distribution. That's National Grid. It's monopoly, and that monopoly we don't really have any choice over. The bottom part of your bill is supply, and that has been deregulated. But what the town has gone out and done is procured energy on your behalf at that 10.725 rate for the next 36 months. It will be a flat rate and fixed. So from that standpoint, you don't have to worry about the rate jumping up or not. Here's the great news. The town has gone out and procured terms and conditions in your favor. So you can stay in this program or leave at any point in the next 36 months without fee or penalty. Doesn't require, all it requires you is to make a decision. So everyone here that received the mailing would have an opt-out notice in front of them. They simply sign that, put it in the stamp addressed, self-addressed stamped envelope. It will automatically be returned. You're out of the program. You can always join the program by and all the notices are right there by calling Colonial at 508-485-5858, extension 1, get back in the program, or online at colonialpowergroup.com. You can go back and forth from this program as many times as you wish over the next 36 months without any fee or penalty. So what the town has done is brought you a choice that has not been available to residents prior to this. So out of the gate, it's going to deliver savings. What happens long term, unfortunately, we don't have a crystal ball, but I feel very, very confident in the ability to, not only is this going to be stability, but it's going to be savings. So what does it mean to you? So let's say you have you're on a low income, or you have automatic withdrawal, budget billing, any of those things that you may be part of a community solar program, or you have solar panels. All of those things work mutually exclusive. They are national grid programs and will continue to function just as they currently do. There's no reason to worry about these programs. They will not be affected by anything that this program is doing. I did want to say, I know that rates, given the 12.3, all sorts of people are going to be getting mailings and phone calls coming forward. This program will not be reaching out. We will not be calling you, sending other mailings. What we're trying to do here is just educate the populace on the options that the town has brought you. Whether or not you choose those options are totally up to you. And no one here is going to be trying to talk you out of the program. If you wish not to participate, that's okay. That's your choice. That's the product the town has delivered. So there are no sales tactics here trying to keep you in the program. I wanted to talk about two programs that I thought would be interesting. Lots of people have questions on. So I know that the town, just from the last education session, has recently signed up, I think it was with NextAmp, for a community solar program. This will dovetail perfectly with the program, and you can sign up for that. It will have no effect. Those credits that you're talking about, or the on-bill credits, will be part of the T&D, or the transmission and distribution part of your national grid bill, and will be at the top part of your bill. Won't have any effect on this program. Just simply enhances the program, and the fact that you'll be getting that discount, and the energy associated with that would also be green, and you're supporting those local solar projects. Solar panels on your roof. So if you already have solar panels on your roof, does it affect you? It does slightly affect you, and only because National Grid always credits your account basic service, whatever the basic service rate is. So let me just take 2 seconds to explain this concept. So I'm going to use this because we know the numbers right now. So National Grid, so you would be, if you stayed in this program and you had solar panels on your roof, you would be paying the 10,725. That would be on your supply portion of the bill. When you got credited for any solar production that you had from those, National Grid is going to credit your account at the 12,388. So you would actually get a delta on this program. It's kind of like this program on steroids, if you will. But so that's a win-win. You're getting credited the 12. You're only going to be paying the 7. It's a win-win. I just want to tell you the knife cuts both ways. If there's a time, say this summer, we're at the 10.7, and National Grid's basic service rate came down to where it was this summer. It was 9.898. You would be paying the 10.7, but they would only be crediting you the 9.898. So you may want to opt out of the program at that time and get back in. But as I mentioned, just given pricing as of late, it does look like you have a very advantageous, long-term, stable rate. Denise, I don't know if I missed anything.
I think you hit on everything. Just to expand a little, you did mention, everyone who's on basic service with National Grid should have already received the mailing in the letter in the mail. Anyone who is already on a competitive supply contract wouldn't have received the mailing because the town's aggregation is only allowed to get the basic service list from National Grid. So if you're on a competitive supply contract or you're with National Grid Green Up, or you have a supplier block on your account with the utility, you would not have received the letter in the mail. You are eligible to join the program if you live in the town of Franklin. You just weren't mailed to, so you would need to actively go to colonialpowergroup.com or call Colonial Power Group and opt in. You would need to have your National Grid bill handy so you can give some account information, but you can certainly opt in. The only caveat is just check with your current, if you're on a third-party supply, just check with that provider and make sure there isn't a early termination fee to leave early. We wouldn't want anyone to get slammed with a $150 early termination fee to join the town's program. But as long as that's not an issue, you can enroll with the town's program at any time. Everyone's eligible. Just as Mark said, only the basic service customers were mailed to, and that's by design.
Can you give an example of that, Denise, of what the third party would be, or a couple examples that might be out there? I know we've gotten a bunch of calls in the office. Is this stuff that people signed up for last year when somebody maybe went door to door, or they got a phone call from another vendor?
So you could have received a solicitation in the mail from Clearview or Constellation. You could have received a phone call. Somebody even calls and says we're with National Grid, but it could have been a third-party vendor. There is door-to-door solicitation as well, and that's just one of the other suppliers, Constellation, NextEra, Clearview, Ambient. There's a whole bunch of them. Would offer you a rate, and it would be 3 years at X. So you could have signed up for that. It could be a greener rate, whatever the terms and conditions were, but you would, it would be similar. You'd still be with National Grid, but you would have an alternate supplier. But the difference from this program is, this has been vetted by the town, whereas a lot of those third-party contracts haven't been. You got to watch the small print. You could have a teaser rate and a good termination fee. When your contract expires, they can automatically bump your rate up. So you just have to be very careful on third-party contracts.
And do those third-party contracts go through the same vetting process that the state DPU, Department of Public Utilities, kind of like the town plan has to go through the state board review and all of that? Do those other third-party contracts have to go through that kind of vetting, or is it, or do they? You
don't, Mark. I'll let you take that one. We'll talk a little about the AG.
Yes. So great point. None of that. That's just an open market, truly an open market. As a matter of fact, the Attorney General has had 3 different reports out, and believe it or not, those third-party supply contracts, 99% of the time, do not deliver savings vis-a-vis basic service. So they want you to be very, very careful on that. Over the last 3 winters, I think we're up to around $357 million in Massachusetts. Spending dollars leaving Massachusetts because of these third-party supplies that could have otherwise stayed here if there wasn't a market out there in that way. So the nice thing about this, Jamie, is when we mail to all these customers, if they decide to stay in the program, their names are removed because they are on a Muni Ag. They're removed from those lists, so they're no longer be marketed to. From the direct mail and the phone call side of things. There's nothing we can do about the door-to-door sales, but you've certainly protected the community from that standpoint.
Right.
Are there any other questions? We're here to answer questions, so we're happy to have a back and forth. There are no, I know this is new to a lot of people, so we're happy to answer any questions. There are no bad questions.
Anyone out there?
Hi, I have a question.
Please.
Hey, Renata.
Hi, this is Renata Gilarova. I just wanted to know, I think you hit on my previous questions in your presentation. So basically within the 36 months, you can kind of opt in and out as you wish with no penalties. But what happens after the 36 months when the rate is, is the rate gonna change periodically, kind of like the N-grid rate does?
This rate here is for 36 months and it's fixed, so it will not change. It's stable for the next 36 months. What will happen over the next 36 months, Colonial will continue to pester Administrator Helen and let him know when the market might be favorable or not favorable. And he'll be making some decisions along that time for the next contract. If let's say he didn't find a rate that was advantageous for the town, everyone would be automatically switched back to basic service at the end of that, and the program would end. It would need to go back through that whole local and state process again. But it doesn't require anything on behalf of the end resident. The town would, let's just say that it didn't end, and I'm making up a rate at 10.5 for the next 36 months after this. There could be a notification, sent out to each one of the participants in the program, letting them know the new rate. We would certainly be updating everything on that colonialpowergroup.com website. I can tell you that there is all the information that we ever had, as far as the plan, all of that, the rates, opt-in, opt-outs, all of the towns, so you can see them. It's out there on colonialpowergroup.com, but you could always go there for any information you need, or you can dial that in case it's 866-485-5858, extension 1, and get all the information. We would prefer that you call us rather than the town. We've been answering these questions for 15 years. I know, Renata, you're going to get the information that you need.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I already contacted you through the website and I got a response right away, so it was awesome. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. Thank you.
Just on Renata's question really quickly, for the folks that are watching this maybe on YouTube later or on TV, on the front page of our website, franklinma.gov, there's a link to Municipal Aggregation with more information than you could possibly ever want. But the most important thing there for everybody to understand is they really should take advantage of the unique website that's dedicated to Franklin on colonialpower.com and take advantage of the phone number and the contact information and those emails to Mark and Denise. Certainly the town can answer some questions, but if you're looking for the most direct answer to your particular situation in your household, please call Mark and Denise at those contact information at that website, because that's certainly the most expedient and efficient and probably most accurate answers you're going to receive.
Any more questions?
Hello?
Hey, Brett.
Hey, Brett.
Hi. Yeah, thanks for having this. This is Brett Feldman. I'm the former town councilor who helped start this process with the town back in 2015, so I'm glad to see it get to this point. I've been tracking a lot of questions on Facebook about it, and people have said they've seen maybe better offers from other suppliers. So can you talk about how many proposals you get or what kind of process it is and how these rates might compare to what individuals might see out there?
Yes. So what I would say, Brett, is this was a competitive solicitation. I believe there was 5 different bidders, and I should have mentioned this. I'm not positive I did. Dynegy was the winning bidder for that 1075, and it was a competitive solicitation. There's going to be also, given the high price that you see in the 12,388, we're going to be bombarded with, I believe, mailings and offers. The bad news behind those offers are a lot of them are 3-month kind of teaser rates, and then rates will begin to escalate after that. This program doesn't allow for any of that. So I don't have any trouble. There are better rates out there, short term. I don't think you're going to find many 36-month rates at this rate. But all of that being said, if there is anything out there and it's a fixed rate, you just need to be careful on those third-party supply because I'm not an expert. We're still using a third-party supplier, but we've kind of, with aggregation, we turn the tables, Brett, on the supply community. We say, if you want to serve our community, these are the terms and conditions by which you have to abide by. And the contract works exactly the opposite. It's in their favor with a bunch of small print that allows them to do lots of other things. So I want you to be cautious of that. That doesn't mean you can't find a deal. Just remember that whenever that contract ends, to mark the calendar, because you can almost guarantee that rates are going to escalate after that. Does that answer your question?
Yep, thanks.
You're welcome. Anything further? Well, I just want to give you the website one more time, colonialpowergroup.com. I want to tell you the phone number is 508. Let me start. It's a 1-800, so it's an 866-485-5858, extension 1. You get any of your questions answered there. If you need to contact me directly, it's mark@colonialpowergroup.com. Happy to return an email or a phone call at any time. Our job is to simply educate you on your decisions in front of you. And we believe once you're educated, you'll see the benefit of this program.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jamie, I'm not certain if you want us to wait around. We're happy to wait around, but certainly you can get 30 minutes back of your day.
Yeah. No, it's a half hour. I appreciate everybody for coming, and I appreciate the folks who came last week as well. And, you know, I think that, you know, I think it's been overall well received, and we've gotten a lot of positive feedback. The number one question we get on the phones is probably somebody calling right now about it is, we got this mailer and it's coming from Dallas, Texas. Is this real? You know, so again, if anybody's at home watching this later on, if you get something that says the town of Franklin's Power Choice Community Aggregation Program, a card in the mail that's from Dallas, Texas, it is real. It is true. And the contact information on there is accurate. So that's been the number one question we've gotten in the office, which is probably something you guys hear of very frequently.
Fortunately, it is.
Yeah. And I fully understand why people are concerned about that. You know, it's completely understandable, and I'm glad that people are calling either us or you guys to actually ask that question. So for those of you who are watching at home, that's another question that may be answered that a lot of folks have. So, and again, Mark, Denise, appreciate you know, all your efforts in this whole program and working with us for almost 4 years now. And appreciate that we could finally get something turned over to the citizens that'll save them a few dollars. And thanks to all the folks here on the call today for joining us. And hopefully, if folks are watching from home or again on YouTube, you know, feel free to pick up the phone. Don't be shy. Ask questions. You know, now or at any point over the next 3 years.
Correct.
Not just right now. You know, it's important that you just pick up the phone, shoot an email over, give us a call. We'll be happy to assist. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Kingston.
Thank
Take care,
Thank
everybody.
you.